mate. Like, one, fuck this world, mate. This world is goddamn pathetic. You are fucking immature to the majority of the time of being goddamn ridiculous. I mean, Jesus Christ, mate. I literally feel like I am a fucking alien trying to communicate to humans all the time. I tell you everything you fucking need to pissing do in this life to create a better one for humanity, right? And yet you don't listen because you're thick as fuck. You really are. Absolutely thick as fuck, mate. Stupid. Like, literally, I really don't even know what to say, right? Number one, what you people really need to do, and what you need to learn to do, is forget all animosity. Number two, you need to learn to forget money. The reason why is if you learn to forget money, you'll learn to work together. That's a big key element towards the next step and the final step, which the next final step is acceptance. That's the last final step for humanity to be able to evolve into a better creature than what we are, which is a fossil fuel grave digging son of a bitch that fucking robs and pillages everything that it possibly can. Literally, that's humanity. We rape and steal everything. I'm sorry to say this, but it is true. It really is. I mean, I've only observed this as a child. I am unable to read. I have very lack of influences on the outside because I don't care about the news. It is boring as shit. I'd rather have a wank with two hedgehogs than watch the news. And I don't mean the soft end, I mean the prickly end, right? Because it is boring. It really is. The news is boring. It's just the same shit. You know, cancer is caused by this, but also at the same time, this can cure cancer. Wait, so, you know, drinking too much alcohol can cause cancer, but if I drink a glass of wine a day, that can help prevent it? Jesus Christ, mate, where did the Daily Mail get their research from? And this is the issue with humanity, right? The problem is you believe in what you hear and not what you see, right? You know what's right and wrong from the beginning, right? The persecution of the blacks was wrong at the beginning. You all knew that. You all fucking knew that. But none of you did anything about it. You watched and sat by while that woman got raped right next to you and did nothing about that. Nothing. Do you know what you fucking sad-ass little bastards probably did? You got your mobile phone out and recorded that woman being raped. What a fucking great nation to live in. What a time to call yourself a fucking part of the human race. And I'm supposed to be happy about that. And I'm supposed to want to live in that society. That society that is that much of a coward and lacks a fucking backbone to stand up for what is right. People tell me that I should be going to protest. I protest every day I come onto YouTube. Every day I protest for your human rights. Right? And every day I tell you what is needed to be done. And you don't listen. Nobody listens because nobody cares. So why should I care? You know what I mean? Oh, well, you should cherish your own life because it's precious. Well, no offence, mate. If you don't care about my children's future and my children's children's future, why do I have to stick by and take part in that destruction? Eh? You humanity, right, you are that fucking retarded that you measure wealth in money, in a piece of paper. Do you know what wealth is measured in? In the security and the stability of your fucking race. You dumbass motherfuckers. Do you not understand that when the earth is gone, where do you flee to? Where do you go to for protection? Nowhere. You've got no stability. You've not colonized another planet because you're too stupid to. Because you're too bothered about Geordie fucking Shaw and a bunch of pissing slags that put their fanny out. As a child, as I was growing up, that was known as a disgrace to the family. Everything that represents Geordie Shaw and the only way is Essex was taught to me as a disgrace to my family. And yet you worship it as a god. You worship that as a god. You really do. The fact that footballers get paid more than your nurses, the people that fight for your countries and your beliefs, your army, your military, your RAF, your navy, your space expeditions, your space army, that yes, unfortunately will become the future of warfare. And yet none of you understand it. You really don't. You really don't. You're about as naive as a fucking 2-year-old. Right? You really are. You get distracted by the most minority of things, by the most smallest objects in the world. Hell, if you was intelligent enough to be able to focus on bacteria, that object would be small enough to distract you, right, from the obvious truth. Right? This world runs on fossil fuels. Dead debris is what this fucking earth runs on. Right? Nothing else. This earth doesn't run on anything else. It runs on the dead. I mean, your efficient energy? Well, I'll tell you, your efficient energy is absolutely a load of shit. Your solar panels actually cost more to actually renew each and every goddamn 5 years or how many, so many that they decided to commission the thing for. Right? It only runs that long. Then it will need to be replaced. Within its lifetime, it probably really won't create that much electricity to the more of its cost, due to the fact that we can't make this efficiently and affordable at the moment, because we are too prioritised on fake tits being inserted into some bitch that feels insecure because her titties didn't develop as much. Do you think as a male that I can go, wow, my testicles are really small, I wish they were bigger? I don't think there's no implant for that unless I actually move my reproductible that I've been drinking. Basically my baby making machine, really. Come on. Right. I'm not able to get my words out correctly because I've been drinking, and the ethanol inside the alcohol makes people retarded, is the best way to say it. It makes you stupid. It makes you less intelligent than you previously was beforehand. Yeah? You get that now? Right, is anyone catching my drift? No. Can you tell me why? Everybody's listening. I'm a just deranged madman that was diagnosed with Asperger's that actually speaks the truth, that when the earth gets involved by the sun's, well, it's an explosion that's going to happen. Oh, never mind the fact that, you know, maybe aliens actually are on the way and they're coming to dominate the world a little bit more, which is why my brain is running upon this a lot more than it previously did. And personally, with my brain at the minute, it's running on that we will be dominated by the alien race, and we will be shown the right way, or we will die trying to fight for our way. Right? And I gotta admit, our way, it ain't worth fighting for. It really ain't. I won't fight for it, I will not die for it, and I will not lay my life on the line for it. Our way is pathetic, it's disgusting, and it's embarrassing to say I'm a part of it. It really is. It doesn't work well. I mean, think about it, right? The government is the government, right? I get criticised for being on an ESA because due to, well, exactly everything that I've just explained within this first opening of my actual channel that no one cares about. No one. And nobody actually realises that upon this time of me constantly dealing with this stress upon myself that I keep hidden towards daily people that eventually I will fucking commit suicide because I am done. I've done caring. I don't care. I actually leave this YouTube channel as a legacy for my child to be able to visit and understand who his fucking father was, because I don't get to see him. I don't do this for you. I don't do it for fame. I don't do it for shit. I do it for if my son wants to know who I was. It kills me not to see him every day. I don't get no help. I don't get no support. I don't get shit. The only thing I know, technically, is that kid's mine. And I should be taking lives who tries to take him out mine. But we're not in that society, and I can't fight for my kid in that way. And I ain't got the fucking paper to do it with. And that is why I'm embarrassed. Say that I'm part of this human race. Because who the fuck is given the God-given right to prevent me from seeing my child? No fucker on this earth is God. So why the fuck do you think you have the right to prevent me from seeing my child? And if you think you're God and you want to play with lives, then why shan't I be able to take yours? In the end of the day, in the Bible, it says eye for a fucking eye. And if you're playing with my child's life, why can't I play with yours? I'm not a Christian, but I believe in a lot of things that the Bible states. I also believe in a lot of things that another religions states, because they're right. You guys are wrong, mate. You really are. Christianity is actually right in quite a lot of ways, until it decided to persecute the gays for some reason, even though if you look in Roman history, orgies was always around, and there's no way that they're playing with the opposite sex all the time when that many orgies is going off. It would go to show through the Roman history and due to the pictures that the male and male was intercoursing, as well as the female and female, and as well as both parties taking joint. Right? It's bullshit. It really is. What it is a part of controlling and manipulation. Right? Gay people have been around since the goddamn Neanderthals. Right? They literally have. Right? Because it's urges. We're all animals. You gotta think, a bitch will get fucked, but a bitch will hump thin air for no reason. Right? And I'm talking about a female dog. The reason why that is because there's still animal instincts within that animal. It is society that taught us this way, that taught us to resist those urges. Right? A male is a fucking killing machine. Right? Due to the fact that we don't get to kill on a daily basis by getting our hunt for the day or tending to our crops for the day, is the reason why most people actually end up suffering through domestic abuse. Males are the apex predators. We are supposed to be dominant, and we are supposed to show that by bringing a kill home. But how do you bring a kill home when you walk to Tesco and buy it packed? It doesn't work that way, does it? We are still animals at the end of the day. We still work off basic instincts. Whether we have intelligence upon that and be able to put 1 and 1 to equal 2 doesn't mean that we're any better off than any other creature on this earth. Right? We just have the gift of time. And the fact is having the gift of time, is it really a gift of knowing that you're gonna fucking die? Yeah. Is that a gift? A gift to know that you're gonna die, and yet you waste it on fucking endless, countless bullshit that you do not enjoy, and yet you got one life. And you need to sort your fucking acts out, people. I really do. Right? Because the main thing that you should be prioritising as a race is your health care your educational system, your prison system, on how that is developed and educated, and how well people rehabilitate into your society. You know, if people are constantly reoffending, then maybe it's your government that's doing wrong and not the people, right? If this person's constantly robbing a loaf of bread, maybe the reason why he's robbing that loaf of bread is because he can't afford it. Yeah? So if that man's got to steal to eat, and that fucker's got to, like, you know, arrest him because he's stealing to eat, that's a bad thing. That's like Aladdin, man. You know what I mean? All over again. And yet everybody's too stupid to actually realise this, and I'm supposed to accept this. And people think, well, agmosity and blah 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 is such a different ass of thing. The difference is I have no problem in shedding mercy. I really don't. I wanted to go in the army. Unfortunately, my weight didn't allow me to go in the army. Apparently health and safety. And then due to the fact of that I got leery with the person, that also, well, that affected. Because I argued, I retaliated. As a soldier, you are not supposed to retaliate, and you are not supposed to argue. You are supposed to follow orders. And that is all you're there for. You're not supposed to argue those orders, you're supposed to follow them. So I also fucked up there. Now, as a younger child, as a younger me, I only saw that as because I was underweight. Now, analysing it further on in the future of growing up and developing, I realised there was actually a lot more behind it than just the underweight. The underweight was the actual first thing to spark my rebellions. Now, in an army, I'm not supposed to be rebellious. I'm supposed to comply and follow orders. And I rebelled, and I failed the first test. Now, there was many other options that could have happened there. Hell, I could just be speaking shit just to make me feel better about myself. But at the end of the day, I never got to kill any fucker. In that way. Right? And I never got to die. Honestly, me in this world, I never really seen myself passing 34, maybe 32. I put on my Facebook a long time ago, I'm going to be here for 5 more years. I'm gone. The expectation of that 5 years is how much longer I've got with my dog before I decide to put a knife in my stomach and pull it across. Well, the main reason why I'm talking about my depression so openly is because I hope other people will eventually talk about the depression openly and be able to cure it. As far as I can see right now, for me, there is no cure other than death. Otherwise I have to live with this shit every fucking single day of my life. And I can't be arsed with it. I really can't. The fact that I'm able to rationalise things a lot more quicker than a dumbass fucking government. Yes, you dumbass government, Boris Johnson, Donald Trump, fucking anybody in the goddamn fucking area, whether a politician, right, you're all fucking idiots, mate. Every fucking single one of you. You are a goddamn idiot. And I tell you something, if I had the chance to piss on your face, I fucking would. But I lack the effort of giving a shit. And that's the issue. Now, YouTube, I have freedom of speech. You are to uphold this by my human rights. So I have freedom of expression. And I also have a lot, well, another thing I can't remember. Alright, so don't invoke that, YouTube. You literally, pretty much all I've got for me to be able to speak out my word and hopefully be able to help people when I'm long dead and buried and people pay attention to my channel, because that's the only time people will care. Jay Goody, I gotta admit, racist son of a bitch, mate. And she got cancer, everyone cared about her. Two-faced son of a bitches. Michael Jackson, everyone knew him as a paedophile. As soon as he died, everyone cared about him. You two-faced son of a bitches. I always loved Michael Jackson. I mean, to be honest, I don't know whether it was a paedophilia. Due to his fame and his celebrity, I would imagine people would try and make money, because that's the pathetic world we live in. I don't believe Michael Jackson was a paedophilia, and I will quite happily tell the child that claims him as rape that he's a fucking liar to his face. Right? And there's nothing but a money scandal that his mummy and daddy tricked him into believing, to the point where it's now the true story that he actually thinks it is. Right? Because honestly, that's what I believe it was, and I honestly still believe it today. I will tell the parents as well. Right? I don't think Michael Jackson was a paedophilia, and I never do, and I never will. Right? Unless there was physical evidence of Michael Jackson's cock in a child's arsehole, I wouldn't believe it. And due to the fact of how famous Michael Jackson was, don't you think some fucking sad little low-life photographer who literally can't stop but invading other people's life to get the sad little pathetic fucking people, it's like, oh my god, did you hear about Michael Jackson? Oh, I need something to talk about because I've got nothing better in my own life. Yeah, for those people, that's what it was. And that's exactly what it was. For those sad little bastard people that have nothing better to talk about in their own life because their brain runs as a fucking heart monitor connected to a dead man. And I'm supposed to give a shit. And I'm supposed to give a shit. The problem is I'm going to tell you right now, they're not even my besties of bestie for friends will even listen to me rant and rave. Actually, they really don't give a fuck. They tune me out quicker than I fucking start speaking. Right? And I know that for a fact, because I keep constantly telling them that I have been picked and prodded by psychiatrists, therapists, and fucking so on. Right? And you think I can't work out the human emotion within a matter of about fucking 0.2 seconds. You're absolutely full of fucking shit, my friend. Right? I'm Asperger's. I like to learn and develop in any sort of area where I think I can learn in. When I was being picked apart by people that were psychiatrists and therapists and fucking God knows what counsellors, right? I was also analysing them quicker than they was analysing me. Fucking hell, I got my own therapist to cry through half of my life story. And that was just some of the things that bothered me. Never mind that hurt me. Right? And I sit here every day and I literally speak the truth. Now I watch people that fake disabilities on YouTube, and you're all getting $1,000 to. I'm wanting to change the world for you. I'm wanting to make better. I'm not trying to make my friend a load of money and fucking exploit him for my own benefits. Now I'd love to name the people, but the only problem is if I do name the people, you'll just take me as attacking these people. You gotta learn for yourself. I'd say, mister, you work the rest out and do your research. Man exploits his friends for his own benefits and literally grants them a reward at the end if they manage the trial that they do, so that you get some entertainment for your pathetic little life. There's other things that this man does do that is good for the world, but fortunately it's too late in the world to do good in the world. But it's enough to make a start if we ever terraform another planet. Not this one though. And I'm literally sat here telling you a lot of things. Aliens don't care about us. Actually, they consider us as bacteria. Actually, do you want me to tell you something? Do you want me to tell you the truth? Aliens consider us as a virus. That's it. The human nation is a virus, and that is what we're considered of. We're so nasty to one another, and it's unbelievable. We think we're better than one another when we're just an animal. We experience the same emotions as a fucking goldfish. The difference is we're able to recognize those emotions, because we're not a goldfish, and we can retain memory and information, which makes us a lot more smarter than a dog constantly wagging its tail because he thinks he's going to get a treat or a fuss. Right? A bloke won't do that to get a treat or a fuss, or for you to touch his penis, which is the technical term. A bloke will try something romantic, you know. If not, he'll probably try something else. He'll try something else, and if he don't get his own way, he could revert to, you know, the bloke's just going to take it. Right? Unfortunately, that's what males are programmed to do when a bitch comes on heat. To rape it. It's how we would have done it in the past, when we was Neanderthals. The problem is people trying to hide those natural instincts. I embrace my natural instincts, to be honest. I actually live like an animal. I eat when I'm hungry, I drink when I'm thirsty, I go for a piss when I need one, I also go for a shit when I need one. I live like an animal. If I want a bit of attention, I'll go out for some attention, or I'll go find some attention. I literally come on YouTube just to whinge and try and tell you a little bit about life and the way that you should direct yourselves. But the thing is you're all childish to recognise. And that's because you live in Lucifer's sins. This is Lucifer's world, and I agree. I agree with that. We don't have a God unless the God is Lucifer. Because the only God I've ever prayed to within this world is Lucifer. Because I've only ever seen bad. I've never seen no witness of good. I've never seen any act of kindness. I've only ever seen Lucifer and the things that God did to Lucifer. That's the thing that we forget. God committed those sins on Lucifer. Lucifer just rebelled for humanity. God wants us to obey, like your military does, to obey and follow his orders, and to never ever question your loyalty to him. Yeah? Lucifer gave you a different alternative to that you can be free if you choose to be. The thing is you see, our God is our governments shackling us down, keeping us in a cage with money. Money is the cage. Why can't you do anything in life? Give me the valid explanation why you can't do it in life, right? And it will always come down to, I can't afford it. Yeah? You look at any situation on where I cannot afford it comes in. Oh, I'd love to cure the cure for cancer, but the problem is we lack the funding to be able to afford this. Oh, we'd love to raise the educational system towards your children, but we lack the fundings to be able to afford this. Why are your government supping all that down his fucking neck? Yeah? Yeah? Do you see it? You know, I would love to help towards knife crime and cut down the area and the time. But the problem is, you see, we lack the funding. Yeah? Do you get that problem right there? Due to the fact that we use money as an explanation to prevent us from doing anything. That is offence. Yeah? That is offence. And y'all are too stupid to fucking see that. Right? And I'm supposed to be happy, and I'm supposed to live in this stupidity. Right? As a child, it made sense. When I came into this bullshit, it was bullshit. As it was. Right? No offence, mate. But as long as we all just work together as one, it'd be a lot more efficient. If we, you know, you don't need to be educated to do something. You just need to know how to do it. I know that for a fact. I'm unable to read. But yet I still loaded a stream channel. Still able to talk on that stream channel. I'm actually still able to edit and render videos. And I could also do a better quality than I actually commit. But due to the fact of the lack of subscribers, I also have the lack of effort towards that. Because I put a lot of effort into that. It is. But I could put a lot more effort into it. But I also lack the editing software to do it. Because I do everything on the PlayStation Plus. So, well, the share play on the PlayStation. Right? Which makes it a lot more harder to be able to edit and render things than when it was when I was just skipping through on a fucking laptop. Right, it's a lot more easier doing it that way, but the problem is I don't suck dick like the rest of the YouTubers, right? So I don't get any funding to help me towards this area. I really don't. My parents didn't respect anything I did as a child, to be honest, nor did they help me pursuing that. Otherwise, I'd probably be a lot bigger YouTuber than I am now. I was doing Nazi zombie Easter eggs when I was younger. I was doing World at War Easter eggs when I was younger. I was doing Black Ops 1 Easter eggs when I was younger, with no guide and no help. Because I didn't learn about YouTube until I was fucking 16. Right? So I worked out a lot of goddamn Easter eggs with no pissing help from a YouTuber. Right? And to be honest, the only two YouTubers that actually helped me out through these Easter eggs, right, was Mr. JD Darlick and Mr. Raffle Waffles. Noah J456 was just up his own arse, absolutely shit at zombies, and it's not hard to find the fucking fall through. Right? It's not hard to weave the thread through zombies, it really isn't, bro. Right? Cut down your over-exaggerated attitude, because no offence, mate, I got to higher rounds with you by being asleep. Right? And I tell you what, Noah J456, I will set you a goddamn challenge. If you can get to round 250 on World of War, the first Nazi zombies, but on Horizon, where the Pack-a-Punch was first introduced, if you can get to round 250 on that, you're a good zombie player. And I take my hat off to you, and I apologise for everything I just said. But otherwise, you're shit. You really are, bro. You're just fucking up your own arse, bro. You really are. I'm not up my own arse. I just hate all humanity. That's why I have such a bad taste in my mouth when I talk about it. And that goes towards anything. Actually, there's only one human in this world that does not leave a bad taste in my mouth. That's my child. So, hell, may disappoint me. My child could never stab me in the back like some people have. I'll just be disappointed, because I'd hope for better. And see, I'm a realist. Hell, all you people are fake, mate. You get like a quick scope or a no scope. Oh my god, look at fuck you, it's too amazing. I'm doing what you are. You're an over-exaggerating little fanny, bro. Sorry, women, for according these over-exaggerating fannies a part of your body, because that's just disgraceful for the woman, that is, really. You know what, you're a scummy little footballer, that's what you are, mate, because all footballers nowadays are just scum. You spend more time on the fucking floor than you do running after the ball, to the point that the women are actually a lot better than the males. Actually, the women footballers have more bollocks than the males, right? They literally have bigger cojones than the blokes, mate. Because you footballing, Wayne Rooney, right? You suck ass, mate. You are fucking diving son of a little bitches, glory hogging, supporting, self-loathing, sorry, bastards. Right? If you don't want loathing, research, because I'm done of educating. I educate you with an apex. I ain't educate you with simple fucking things of life. And none of you are going to learn until you're all enslaved. That you literally ain't. And the problem is you're all fucking too stupid to realise it's going to happen very soon. If you got 15 years. 15 years. I'm gone in 5, so I don't give a fuck. You got 10 years before you're enslaved, mate. I'm gone in 5, mate. So I don't care. Right? I ain't gonna be enslaved by an alien race to be able to teach you motherfuckers how to work together. Mate, I'll ascend to heaven before then. Because I agree that we should work together. Right? And that will allow me in heaven. Because I don't work off I. I'm not selfish. I'm a dick, but I'm not selfish. And that's two difference. Alright. I would give anything for anybody if I have it. And if I can afford it. But it's that affording causes the problem. If I can't afford food for myself, I can't retain the energy I need. And if I can't afford the food for myself, I can't afford food for my dog. And if I don't retain the energy I need, how do I feed my dog? I don't have the energy to feed him. Everything works in an order. You just got to learn how it works. And this isn't the way it works. And another thing, I gotta get this clear. Do you know all you stupid fucking vegan people out there, mate? You actual vegan people out there, right? Oh, well, you should stop eating animals and then we'll stop killing them. Yeah, you're right. We will stop killing them because we'll exterminate them. Alright? You know why we'll exterminate the animals? Because we no longer need them. And if we no longer need them, they become a waste byproduct. Right? And the waste byproduct is the fact they're taking land up that we could use. Sorry, but that's the truth. You're too stupid to admit it, but I know it. You know, because I'm smarter than the average bear, boo-boo. And I can tell you that now. No offence. I love eating meat. I absolutely do. Right? I would happily gut a pig and cook him. Not a problem. Right? Not a problem. Wouldn't even care about it. Honestly. I don't even care if it were a piglin or a cub or whatever. If I were fucking hungry and there were a pig in front of me, I'd eat it. Right? No offence. My dog is a domesticated animal. I wouldn't be buying a pig as a domesticated animal, so there'd be a difference on the outlook of that. I'd be buying that pig as food, so when I became hungry, it would become food. Until then, to be maintained and looked after and have a good life. It's the best I can offer it. Because the way I can see it, that animal's offering its life for me to have food. So I should offer it the best I can for its life. So it's cherished. That pig, every time that pig gets gutted and killed, that pig sacrificed its life for me. And I worship and I acknowledge and I know that. And I do not discredit meat. Nor will I foul that meat so it becomes spoilt and wasted so that nobody can actually experience it. Because you just basically let an animal go in vain. Died for no reason. Right? The reason the animal died was to provide food for your nation, for your race. Right? When you spoil that meat and you make it contaminated so no human can have it, that animal died for nothing. Just like in World War II, when all those people fought for your human rights and you let them die in vain. You tell me where your human rights are, where your freedom of expression and your freedom of blah 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 is. I've been drinking, so I don't really know everything at the minute because ethanol makes you thick. Sorry. Huh? You tell me where all that is. Tell me. Because I don't know where it is. I don't have the freedom to go and see my child. Because I have the choice of one or two things. Now, see, I could go to Jess's, I could go to my ex's, right? And I could also go to Melanie Jones, right? To go and see my child. But now if I go and see my child and there is a confrontation in between, well, I called that confrontation because I made the travel. Okay? Which is more of a reason for me not to see my son, even though my ex had failed to protect. My ex is the reason why my son has a bleed on his brain. Literally. And yet, she gets to see my son with a Nancy-ass boyfriend who fucks a girl younger than his daughter. And yet I don't get to see my own son. And I'm supposed to agree with this factor. That she also had 5 other kids. With 5 other dads. In the space of 5 different years. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I fucked a right fucking whore. I already know that. Right? But your people listen to this and feel better about your own life. You know why? It's because you was always insecure about your own life. See, I openly admit these things because I'm not embarrassed about my own life. This is my life experience. This is what I went through. Why should I be embarrassed of it? It wasn't my fault. I didn't actually do anything wrong. I was always a good character towards people I love. Right? And I express towards people I love. Anybody else I don't really give a fuck about. You piece of meat. Right? Same as that pig, you know. But if it come to it, and I had another human in the room, and I knew that he was my only source of food within the next 2 weeks, but we could get saved in the 2 days, I'd be eating him in the first hour. I really would. I really wouldn't give a fuck. Yes, I would eat another human, and yes, I wouldn't give a fuck about it. I'd have a clear conscience. I was hungry. He was food. He was there. He was the weaker one. I was the apex predator. He wasn't. I won. Simple as. And we all would. It's just who's smart enough to come to that realisation first really wins the fight. See, like a normal person, you're thick. You really are. All you normal people, you are thick as fuck, you are robotic, and you are taught to believe one thing, and that's all you believe. Which is in yourself. You do not care about anybody else in the world other than your fucking self. You selfish son of a bitches. Now with your autism, your Asperger's, your ADHD, well, we consider you cunts more than others. Because we have to. I always have to think about the way I talk with my Asperger's and how I direct things towards people, even that suffer with a similar disorder to myself, whether it to be autistic, ADHD, or Asperger's on the same spectrum as me. Right? They will have problems and they will try and confront me. Now the problem is I'm actually quite happy with confrontation. I'm not too bothered about it. That's why these little people on Apex, they think they're good by calling me a noob, and then they realise how deep my voice is, and probably realise how big my balls are and all. Right? That's your insecurity, not mine. I actually know how big my balls are. Unfortunately, I'm a single male, so there's only one person playing with them. But you see there, that is gold of comedy, and not one person is viewing my channel to even laugh at it. Although it's hurtful and it's harsh, there's gold. It's gold for the British nation anyway. Right. And there's many other things that are stupidity. Same as you got that psychiatrist that's like, oh, right, you might be this and blah, blah. You fucking thick as fuck, bro. Right? If a male wants to identify as a female, leave him fucking to it. I mean, in hindsight, I don't think they should get rid of the reproductive organs, but everything that was invented for a woman, dress sense, was originally invented for a man before a woman was ever considered. Right, a dress was invented for a bloke as a robe first. Heels was invented for a male so that they could hold inside the hoof when they ride the horse. Makeup was invented for males due to acting and inspiration and art before females. The only thing that a female got before a bloke was a fucking bra and a tampon. That's it. That's all you got. You didn't get anything fucking else, mate. And that was implicated in World War II because we realised that the women lost morale and wasn't creating the bullets inside the factory for the men to go and die by using. Same as why the heels was also brought in as a sex appeal for females. You're so subliminally message, it's easy. Because you believe in what you see. Well, you believe in what you hear, not what you see. Alright. The same as Thingy says, mate, you're beautiful no matter what they say. There's always beauty with anyone. You've just got to learn how to spell it. And the thing is you all complain about these kids getting worse, but they only learn by their examples. So if your kids are misbehaving and terrible, well, that's the examples that are set in front of them. Right, that's it. You're a child, a human child, is raised by much more than a basic animal. See, my dog is raised by my nurture. He goes off my feelings. If I feel upset, he knows to comfort me. If I feel anxious, he'll stand on guard. He goes off my expressions. Now where your child will go off their feelings, not yours. They grow out of that as soon as they hit 6-year-old. When a child hits 6-year-old is where they hit a stage of self-development, where they no longer go off mummies and daddies' emotions. They feed off their own. Yeah? Now, I don't lie. I'm not scared. The government will lie because he is scared. And he'll always be scared. Scared of you finding the fucking truth out. Right? There's another thing. I'll tell you why cannabis is illegal in Britain. Because it affects the pharmaceutical industry that creates too many tablets that go around the world for them to indulge in one drug. Right? For my Asperger's, okay, I am supposed to take up to at least 17 tablets a day to be able to deal with this disorder. Now, I can smoke cannabis whenever I feel myself getting bad, to help prevent the areas where I struggle in. So, anxiety, sleep deprivation. You know, the fact of, instead of self-harming myself tonight, I'm talking on YouTube. And by self-harming, I mean I kick the living shit out of myself, mate. Like, literally. I will pick my fist up and I will ram that in my face without an issue. And I will knock myself off my feet by doing that punch. And you tell me how many of you fuckers are brave enough to do that to yourself. Because I'm not, I'm just stupid. As far as I'm concerned. I'm stupid enough to do that to myself. But hell, you ain't got the balls to pick the fist up to yourself. So how the fuck are you meant to throw it at yourself? And that's the difference. The problem is as I was younger, I used to attack like walls and stuff. But that pain wasn't good enough. I felt it in my hands, but I didn't feel it elsewhere. So I started taking it out upon myself. To feel that pain. But, as a young child, we stepdad that were a prick. Well then my mum denies it. And hell, no offence, but if I were in our shoes, even I'd deny it so I could sleep better at night. But it's true. And no matter how many times I try and talk to her about this situation, or anything, she asks for forgiveness. And I can't. I cannot forgive my mother. The reason why I can't forgive my mum is because I was a child in that situation. She was an adult. I didn't understand. And that is what I could never actually forgive my mum for. She never explained. She didn't tell me what was going on. She believed that was right. Relationship for a long time. Believe it or not, due to my mother's experience. Luckily later on in life, when I developed my own first love, that I had my child with, that completely fucked my life up. Like, literally fucked my life completely up. To the point where now I'm on sick pay, I got diagnosed with Asperger's, I'm a complete mental fuck up. I couldn't work even if I actually wanted to because I physically can't sleep. And my brain goes at 100 miles to 1 that I can't keep up with it no more. And the way of the world, the way that I'm looking at the environment, the ozone layer, the temperature changes, everything. That's all worrying. That's worrying to me. But nobody will listen. Nobody. So why stay here? Why bother? Why trying to convince you dumbass people that we need to change? And don't forget, I'm a part of your people. I just don't want to. I don't disclude myself when I call stupid. I just don't want to be a part of the stupidity. That's why I'd rather say you instead of ours or we. Because as far as I'm concerned, if an alien race comes, I ain't part of this human race. I'm an animal, and I live among the species, and I respect and I worship those, not humanity. An animal, yes, tries to hurt me for many other things, same things that I would hurt that animal for. 1, fear. 2, protecting. Number 3, guarding. And number 4, it's hungry. It's only nature. I suppose the alpha male will win. Do I become food? Or does the wolf become food? That's how it works. And that's life. And among life, we need to learn to change, develop, and become better. At the end of the day, the reason why I can't deal with this human race is the fact that no matter what, the medication can be behind that counter, but if you don't have the money, you can't have it. Why is that money more value than a human life? Right? Why is bacteria on Mars considered as life, but yet a heartbeat on Earth can be aborted? And another thing, before these women get on the thing, like, I gotta admit, I was only enlightened today on the facts and the figures of this, and this is really shameful. And you women, you really need to grow the fuck up, right? The figures are showing that the women that went for an abortion with a rape problem was 5% of the abortion clinic. The other 95% of the abortion clinic was due to immaturity. That's fucking disgusting. Although it is nice to know that the rape charge is really low. But the fact is that the other 95% gave it away because she wasn't smart enough to use protection. And that's it. That's really it, mate. You were fucking stupid, you fucking chanced it, and yet you got rid of a life. As far as I'm concerned, mate. Now don't get me wrong, I do actually agree with abortions, personally. I really do. I agree with abortions for many other things. For maybe it's not the right area of time. Maybe you're trying to focus on your career. It's a lot better off for you to actually have that abortion and focus on your career, because that's the world we live in. Now, if we didn't live in that world, I would have a different opinion. I would say no, you should keep the child. But now you women fought for equality, you got it. And look how chaos you made the world. There wasn't enough jobs out there for the men. Never mind for the women to get involved as well. I'm sorry. It's not being sexist. It's just counting numbers. Right? There's not enough jobs out there for people to have jobs. They actually need people on benefits to be able to keep the system going, unfortunately. It really has to work that way and all. I mean, the working class, I am part of the working class, I just refuse to work now. Well, I don't actually refuse to work, I actually physically can't to work. Right? I really can't. Because I'm aggressive. And I'm not aggressive as in where I'll beat the living shit out of you. I'll just stab you in the throat with the nearest object I've got if I can't space myself away. That's the sort of nasty I am. The nasty that will end your life the quickest way as possible. Not that's going to beat the fuck out of you for 20 minutes before you lose consciousness. Right? And to be honest, watching blood splatter really doesn't bother me because I watch my own when I beat the fuck out of myself. I really don't. The problem is my true friends know I do this. They also know there's nothing they can do to help me. Because there isn't. I'm 28 years of age, and within my life for suffering with Asperger's, I've never actually found a way to deal with this. I use cannabis to help mask it. It helps numb it. It helps help the attacks upon myself not be so bad. It doesn't mean they don't happen still, but they're not as bad. You know. And like I say, try to talk to people. Nobody wants to listen. And selfish reasons or not, I'm staying here for them. Nor I'm staying here for mine. I'm done. I hate this world, and I hate everything that we're a part of. And I hate the fact that you're all stupid. I really do. And it doesn't matter what clickbait I put on YouTube, I never get any views. Right? And the problem is, and I'll tell you the problem is the actual problem is through my ranting and raving, so the government, if I ever get heard, will try and claim I actually make sense. Now the problem is YouTube, is if you actually could learn to help lift me up, I can help lift you up further than you fucking ever know. But the problem is because you're not willing to take the chance on me and put me out there. I can't change anything. Honestly, YouTube, you could be back to the original YouTube that I knew and I love and I understood before you thought about your own fucking goddamn pocket. When you first came into my life, YouTube, this was when I was 14, you never thought about money. So what the hell happened? Come on, bro. What the fuck happened, man? Me and you, YouTube, we were good friends. Supposed to watch streamers with music playing. You know, music that I probably enjoyed as well, so I was able to connect to the person on more than the game. Connect on the person's level of his music. I was also able to touch into his emotions on maybe that he were feeling that day due to the fact of what he was playing. That's the thing, man. That's the thing. We're all gonna die. And nobody cares. And do you want me to tell you, no, nobody cares. I can press this PS button and then press it again and it'll say 0 and 0. I got no views, no comments. And that doesn't bother me. I'm not out here for attention. I'm not out here for people's, like, oh my god, you're so right, you're so smart, you're so this. What should I know? Should we all get along? We need to realise that a gay cunt's a gay cunt, a black person's a black person, a white person's a white person, a lesbian's a lesbian, and so on and so on and so on. Right? And the reason why I identify the gay cunt as the gay cunt is because they change a lot more than a lesbian does. Like a lesbian, you kind of already know that they're a lesbian, and they always show that area of, well, but like gay people, they really flip the coin sometimes, and it confuses me. And it's more to my Asperger's, like my own cousin, he had a deeper voice than me, right? And then it went really high pitch, and it went really flamboyant, and I couldn't understand it. It wasn't Liam, I mean, I got that he was gay, that never bothered me. But the Liam that was presented in front of me wasn't the Liam that I originally knew. And due to the dramatic change, I can't deal with that. And that's it. It's like literally when I walk into Tesco and I walk down the same aisle where I used to get toilet roll from, and then for some reason the toilet roll has been moved. I nearly have a mental breakdown every goddamn time because of that. To the point on where I want to trash the fuck out the goddamn stall, the aisle that I'm stood on, because the item that was previously there is not there no more. And that causes a major problem with me. And I bitch about this each and every time I go in Tesco because of this. But they don't identify that Tesco is doing medical discrimination by not identifying that Asperger's and autistic people cannot deal with an item being moved from one aisle to another due to the fact of our like and our obsession of similarities. Right? And that goes down to every other single stall that does this. You are medically discriminating by law, well, by act and statutory, Asperger's and autistic people, because we can't deal with that. And it doesn't just cause me on the Asperger's spectrum the dysfunction. It actually causes my best mate on the autistic spectrum that is more of a slower process but a better thought of process. Yeah? Your Asperger's people seem to be more ADHD and autistic. They're really good at thinking and problem solving. They're also very quick on their toes. Yeah? Your ADHD people are really quick on their toes and athletic. Your autistic people are really slow people that are fantastic at problem solving at some point. And the reason why I say at some point is due to I'm Asperger's. Right? If I can solve the problem, I will. If I can't, I will admit it. Problem solved. I can't do this, I'm sorry. You'll need someone else. And that is part of my Asperger's that admits that. Not the human nature of me. The human nature would try and say that I can do it, even though I can't. Yeah? But the intelligent side of me says, no, I can't. You need to ask somebody else that can. Because I know I can't do this as one man. But your government's trying to do it as one man. It's trying to lead you as one man. He's got a team, but I don't see him accepting money out. And come to Boris Johnson, ignoring the medical professional help towards the pandemic over his best friend. Even to myself, when the COVID pandemic first came out, I wore a mask. I got told I was an idiot by the people that once told to wear a mask. Called me an idiot for not wearing the mask. Yeah? And Ryan Taylor, I'm going to name you out, you BMXing little prick. I actually love all your stunts and I love all the stuff you do and all. Gotta say. But you, my friend, when the pandemic first came out, you had a YouTube, you uploaded saying that, I don't know why people are wearing a mask, you don't need to wear a mask, the government have not advised it and blah blah blah. But look how long it took, Ryan Taylor, for the government to stab you in the back, Ryan Taylor. And I state this on a repetitive reason for it to get heard. If you go back to your stupid little video where you told me not to wear a mask and I criticised you and called you an idiot. I love you BMXing. I love the stuff you do with Ali Law. It doesn't mean I have to like you as a person. At the end of the day, when you get paid to say stuff, if I could sell my soul, I could understand. But I ain't selling my soul, Ryan. Not like you did. And as far as I can see, bro, that was the day when you lost me as a fan. And I haven't watched any of your shit since the day you actually uploaded that video. And also, Ryan Taylor, you didn't also prevent me from watching your stuff anymore because of what you said. You also prevented me from watching Ali Law's stuff anymore, to the point where I actually unsubscribed from the both of you because of your statement. And I know that you're a team and work together. Now don't get me wrong, probably love you both as a person in the street, but as a sellout on YouTube, no, I don't. Sorry. Right. I knew when the pandemic came out that we needed to wear a mask. I also know that we need to wear a mask due to the fact of the pollution rise. It's just help reduce the pollution inside. Even my dog knows that. So if a canine knows it, it's a problem with you. You're not intelligent enough as a dog. You're thicker than a dog. Because you claim yourself to be the human race, the intelligent race. But are you really intelligent? Because you're not intelligent enough to get along. Not intelligent enough to work together. As far as I can see, you're thick as fuck. Because I can watch many animal species work very well as a pack, but I don't see much of humanity doing that. But yet we can communicate on a much vast intelligence. And by the thing that, like, when I listen to the human language, look at the difference. When I listen to a dog's language, rough. When I listen to a cat's language, meow. When I listen to a cow, moo. When I listen to a horse, they all seem to have a very similar language, no matter which country they come from. But now you listen to the human race,
How quaint. We're off
right?
the world's edge.
And you listen how different everything sounds, right? Hello, bonjour, guten tag, ni hao. Yeah? Privyet. There's a few of the greetings that I know because I stopped asking Alexa for more. Right, Chesh. Yeah. But think how different they are. Now you get a dog from China, his language would be rough. Get a dog from Britain, his language would be rough. Yeah? Now you look at the human race between those two, right? China, say hello, ni hao. Say hello in Britain is hello. I mean, I haven't really got to explain that one anymore, but I actually feel like I should. Because, I mean, it is self-explanatory, but the way I look at this world, for you guys, I don't think it is. And I don't mean like you guys as in like the working people, the people that actually push everything. I mean the government. I mean you guys. You don't get this. You fucking retarded, spoiled little bratty, twatty little government. Yeah? Boris Johnson. As far as I'm concerned, ain't Boris Johnson, Boris Johnson. Man don't just fiddle with kids, mate. He fucks their lives up as well. I mean, literally, scumbag, trash. I don't get how you can elect someone as a government that wears a mop as a wig on his head. So what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, that was a dig, Boris, for his stutter. The worst thing is I don't even know if the man actually suffers with speech impediment, right? And if he doesn't, I don't give a fuck. And if he does, I apologise, amigos, because you can't help that. And you can't really tell whether someone suffers with a speech impediment without them clarifying. But you're still a dickhead. You literally are, mate. You're still an absolute prick. Apologise for being an arsehole. For a disability. For a birth defect. I don't mind. But you are an arsehole. And that's something you chose to be. DNA didn't make it that way. You chose to be an arsehole. And I remember, I know that for a fact. Because I used to be an arsehole. Actually, I'm still an arsehole today. But you ask my friends and those that I hold dear to me. And they know me. They also know that I'm done. They also know that when my dog's gone, I'm gone. I've got very little interest in staying in this world. Most people actually fear death, and I'll tell you, the people that fake suicide, that, you know, slit their wrists and all that crap, you know what I mean, fake an overdose, like, took like 2 tablets and, really, that's all they've took, mate, just 2 tablets. Gone for a stomach pump. Yeah. They're just fakers. That's it. Little fake little bitches. Now someone that is actually suicidal is not scared of death, nor wants to be saved. Every time I've took an attempt on my life, I was actually dragged to A&E. I never chose to go. Never wanted to go. I was dragged. Actually, I could get one of my mates on that would say that I never forgive him when I play with him on my games. So this is Orange Wizard. He saved my life after an OD attempt But I got my plummet stumped, so that prevented the OD attempt, I can tell you that. Right, he saved my life. On that night before I entered the ambulance, I told him I'd never forgive him for this. And he knows that. I still don't forgive him. I've had a lot more years on my life added on that I did not want to fucking be in. But now I just remain here. Main reason I suffer with so much loss and hurt myself. I couldn't put my dog through it. And I chose him to be in my life, not the other way around. I never looked for friendship, because I never wanted to be alive long. Never looked for friendship, never looked for a relationship. I wanted to be left alone, because I wanted to die alone, and I didn't want people to hurt. I was a very young child, I was very wise. I was Asperger's, I was normal, I was an autistic, I was a lot more fucking higher of intelligence. And with a child that couldn't read, I had to learn other things to indulge my mind in. A lot of it was adults' affairs. What you got up to, what you did, how you interacted, how you dealt with depression. You're all shit, honestly. Oh shit, including my mother. Shit dealing with depression. Actually, my mum, she just tries to mask it each and every day. I forget that it ever exists. Or to be honest, I actually believe in my mum. She's actually that far up her own fucking arsehole that she didn't even consider that her son suffers with depression enough to even message him once a fucking month. The fact that I have to send her a song before she acknowledges me, and yet I'm supposed to believe this woman cares about me. My own dad prevent me from seeing my own child, because when I realised that I was never getting my child in my custody, I took an attempt on my life. I was beat down. Bear in mind, the year previous, I just buried a son. Never mind going to court for my son. And do you know how many men out there could do that? None. I'm the only one I fucking know. And to be honest, I'm kinda grateful that I am the only one I know. Because I wouldn't wish it upon anyone else. Because each and every day I suffer with so much pain. I suffer with so much regret. I suffer with so much hurt. And so many ifs and buts. The problem is, it's not that matters. Because that's not the reality I'm in. I'm in this one. One where my firstborn is dead. My secondborn, I don't get to see. And as far as I can see, I don't want to see this world anymore. Because I just can't deal with it. As a child, I only believed I was put on this earth to be nurtured, to be raised, to have an offspring, to raise him or her and nurture, and then die and become fertilizer for the ground, for the circle of life to continue. And that continued all the way up until I was 12-year-old. I changed. I went into something else. More towards the area that I am now. Just as a teenager. I wasn't as open as I am now. And the thing I can tell you, and the thing I can mainly tell you, is it's you guys. You, the people. It's you guys that fell asleep and let the government take over. Right now is raping you for everything you've got. You know, you tell me how you live without these necessities of life. Alexa, what is a necessity mean?
The noun, necessity, can have a few meanings. 1. Something necessary or indispensable. 2. The fact of being necessary or indispensable, indispensability. 3. An imperative requirement or need for something. 4. The state or fact of being necessary or inevitable.
These are all the same fucking things, mate. So basically you need it. That's what necessary means. You need it. You need it to live. You need it to function. You need it to breathe. You need it to wipe your arse. You get it, right? You need electricity nowadays to live. You really do. Right? You also need gas suppliance to be able to live, to provide warmth for your property. You also now, as the new age, need internet as a necessity to be able to do anything you goddamn well please. Alright, if you want to order a kidney off the black market, there you go, bro. You just gotta know how to get there. Alright. You know, if you want to see some motherfucker get cut up on the deep web, you can pay for that in BitCurrent. And yeah, the government knows it's happening. The difference is like Good Charlotte said, lifestyle for the rich and the famous. You know, it doesn't matter as long as you got the cash to pay for cop rent. Yeah, just like the Good Charlotte said. And yeah, you live in a stupid world. I don't want to live in it. I really don't. Like, I really don't like enjoying Apex anymore. The game sucks ass, it really does. Feels like it's very biased, and I also feel, due to engagements and certain engagements, that it is a pay-to-win system, and also the game exploits between different people and interactions with the game because of how my aim interacts in different engagements with different people all the time. Like, if I come across a random bot, my aim will be bang on accuracy without an issue, even though this guy is using movability. This guy is a bot and is unknown and they don't care, right? But now when I come across, say, I don't know, a PC player that's paying like £500 for these Apex packs, I can't aim on them. My aim actually gets thrown off them than it does on them. There was a pay-to-win Horizon skin, and I literally called it out as to win because every time I tried to pull my aim onto this guy, my aim went further away from him. So as I was pulling my analog stick left, it was going further right. So when I tried to flip it, because of it not working, it's just continued going right, actually, right? So the game was put on the input, as far as I can see, or whether this guy had an area that protected him. So, like, you know, you watch some of his It's Timmy shots, right? Don't get me wrong, I do hit quite a few of them shots, like myself. Not as good and not as frequent. I'm console, not PC. And one, I don't sweat my life out on this game, I just play this game. There's a difference. Timmy sweats his titties off to be the best and wants to be the best. The man forgot how to wank and just lives on Apex. Like, no offense to him. Like, personally, I think he cheats, honestly. Like, some of his flicks, some of his things, they are personally unbelievable. in the first place. Like, some of them are really hard. But I also manage a lot of these flicks myself. And I know that they are possible. So, you know, there is like 37% of where I do think he's cheating. But then the other area, I think like I do actually. I hit them shots myself. I do. But I don't do them as frequent as I used to be because, well, I'm not sweating my tits off. I don't get anywhere with this. I've been streaming for such a long period of time with a point where it's just useless. It's literally just a diary. For if my son wants to waste hours upon his life learning on who his dad was, well, he has that opportunity. It's a legacy. And never mind this. I leave something for my friends to cling on to. My family. You know, they'll always come back to this and remember me, where I was at my happiest, playing my games in my own element, and come to areas like this when they begun to realise that if I'm not playing, I'm probably talking. And I love you all. I just can't live this life anymore. Right? But that made no sense now, because you look at the date and realise where right it is. And I get this, man. And I'll miss you, Sean. Even though we had little interactions, I will honestly admit that. We always had good interactions. And you always opened me welcome arms. I hope to one day, when I make it with you, bro. Hell. We'll have more in hell. See, people don't understand depression at all. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell all you people right now, cancer, depression, cannot be cured at all. Government's lying to you. The research is wasting your life, bro, with your time, bro. There's no cure for it. We ain't smart enough to figure it out, I can tell you that, because it's in your DNA, mate, and we ain't even figured that shit out yet. I've been saying that since the age of 7-year-old, mate. Not one fucker's listened to me. Oh, actually, since 7-year-old, I lost interest in cancer, to be honest. Up until my granddad got it. And then I lost interest in it again, because I did more research into it, and realised that at the end of the day, if I was a research company, what would be the point of me finding a cure and losing the money for the research? When we live in a world that lives off funding. Now, I picked cancer for a reason, because it's a harsh topic. And yes, I lost my granddad through cancer. My granddad used to work down the pits as well. And yes, I was actually close to my granddad. Not as close as I would like to be, but that was due to the distancing and the lack of being able to travel from one another place. My mum was on benefits. My granddad was at basically the other end of the country, but I mean, he wasn't. He was 2 buses away. But to my mum, that was the other end of the country. And the problem is my mum's lost a lot more. And my mum knows, and so does my father, knows that I suffer with depression, because I've been diagnosed with this since I was 7 years old. Although I wasn't aware as a child. which would have been nice to know, because it would have given me so much explanations for my problems as a child. But once again, like I say, I hold the grudge against my mum for not explaining what we're going off with Paul. I also hold more upon grudges that they don't know on about. My parents never explained anything to me. And that's probably because they didn't know I was Asperger's. See, most kids can be blinded by shiny objects. Autistic kids can be distracted as well. But Asperger's can't. We're more intelligent. Now, I gotta admit, the government gave me shut up money as personal independent payment, and also put me on ESA. Now I thank them for that, because it gives me tuck-shop money to be able to go and provide for stuff, instead of robbing the stuff from the store that the taxpayers put in the store in the first place. Yeah, I mean, would you believe it? It's the taxpayers that puts the food in the store, and then the taxpayers pay for the food that's in the store, when the money that now you just paid again, so the government gets two lots of funding, and then you have to carry that shit home. Do you not get how much of a bullshit that is? Hey, that you're all a slave to a piece of paper. Really, the reason why you get out in the morning is for money. If you're the reason, like, if you're the person that gets out of bed because of money's on the table, you ain't got a life worth living. You really haven't. And now I'm going to contradict that saying, because that right there, because you should go for what matters. And the problem is, if you consider in your life that money that matters, then you're pursuing your dream. But is it worth living? I had money in the past, and I was greedy with it. There it was. To the point there where my ex got pregnant, she spent it all. But yep, saved a lot of money. I lived with mummy, earning £260 a week, plus £130 if I decided to do a 12-hour shift at the weekend. Mum asked for 40 quid. It was 220 quid I was left to play with. Bearing in mind, I only had to pay out 50 quid for responsibility of a phone. That's all I had to pay for. I had a lot of money. Not like a lot of money, but like to what I was used to, it was a lot of money. I had like three grand in my account, bro. That was a lot of money to me, because I had never seen it. The max I ever seen growing up was the money that I was gaining in the account up to the £3. That was it. The max money I ever seen in my childhood was actually £100, because I never asked for presents, just asked for money. The reason why I asked for money is because my parents always seemed to need it. My dad and my mum used to borrow and take that money back through and without the Christmas. Sometimes I'd never see it back, so I'd get it back. A lot of times I really didn't. But I wasn't bothered. Because we were supposed to be a team. I was never part of my dad's team. I was never part of my mum's team. And still to this day, I don't feel like part of the team. I feel like a burden they can't shake off. So, and that's the problem and all. I can't function with day life. I can't go shopping because I don't know what I want on the day. Never mind within the fortnight, and I have to do a fortnight shopping. I actually end up starving myself most of the days because I can't afford the food that I want. And due to my Asperger's, I'm unable to eat other. Right, and by like food that I want, I don't mean like I want fancy stuff like I want a steak dinner. I mean like if I want chips and sausages and I don't have the sausages because that's all I can afford, I don't have no chips. You know. No, don't get me wrong. If I didn't have to supply money towards my self-medication all the time so I don't commit suicide or be a constant waste of taxpayers' money by visiting the A&E because some fucker's saving my life all the time, I'd be fine. But I smoke cannabis because I can't deal with my own mind, because it just attacks the race that I'm part of. That's the thing. My brain attacks the race that I am part of. I don't want to be part of it anymore. Hell, I don't want this brain anymore. Tried to do it down. I've tried drinking. I've tried entertaining myself with stupidity. And I can't. Even watching Danny Bowes videos. I mean, fuck me, man. I mean, it's just literally stupidity the majority of the time. It's just stupid. It really is. Don't get me wrong. He does really well what he's doing. But the way he acts is not, it's not Tony. It's not him. It's an act. And that's the thing. Stop selling your soul, people. Just be you. See, I love watching Oblivion. Because Oblivion's Oblivion. He's British. Well, mind you, so is Donny Bowes, but like, Oblivion comes from like Oblivion sounds like it comes from my generation of where we don't give a fuck. With Donny Bowes feel like he comes from my mate's generation that considers people. Sort of, in a way. But more like a childish troll all the time that just makes you not want to be his friend. And most of the shit on his actual channel just looks choreographed. It really does. Like, Linux is a rubbish ass actor for a start. Like, you can really tell that it's choreographed most of the times with this douchebag. Bionic is What he gives it away with is intelligence, man. Like he's literally, he's my sort of level. He's like Asperger's, I would say. The one dude I like though that's actually in, and as far as I'm concerned, is the one coloured dude. I can't remember his name, but he's awesome. He's funny, although he's loud, and that really messes with my sensitive area. So like, if you could tone down your reaction sometime and your fake reaction, yeah, it would be so much better for me as an Asperger's viewer. Fantastic, because that's the thing, man. You know, when I watch someone that goes, "Oh, look at that kill," I'm done, because I don't know what you're bragging on. Most of these kills that people brag on, I actually do on a day-to-day basis. I actually do. Now, a lot of kills that I do watch that I can't perform and I know I can't do, I am impressed. But never mind that I'm impressed, I'm also intrigued. And if you don't know what that means, alright, I'll tell you the definition, and I'll tell you some information. And I'll do it all at the same time. Go find out yourself.